Hello and welcome to CS 111C, Data Structures and Algorithms in Java. This is Jessica Masters, your instructor. In this series of introductory videos, I'm going to go over where everything is located for our course in Canvas. I'm going to walk through the introductory module and walk through the syllabus. So all of the things in this video are going to be sort of what you would normally do on the first day of class for an in-person course. Okay, so I'm going to show you where all the resources are that you'll need for the semester. I'm going to walk through the syllabus. I'm going to show you where everything is on Canvas, and I'm also going to give you an overview of the first module so you can kind of again see how everything is laid out. So we're going to start with the introductory module. When you come into Canvas, this is what it looks like. So you'll have the modules listed here. You can open any of them with the little triangle or close and hide them with the triangle closed. When you go to a particular module, you'll see all of the resources for that module listed. So for example, here are all the modules in all the resources rather in the introductory module. The little icons next to each resource will tell you what it is. It's a page, for example, an informational page, or it's a attachment to download, or a discussion board, or something you'll submit, which has the little kind of rocket ship there. If there is something that you will submit, whether it's a discussion board that's graded or whether it's a homework, there'll be a due date listed right on this main page in the modules. So you can always come into this modules page and jump directly to any resource that you need. You can also get to resources by paging through with the next button, and I'll show you that in this video. On the left-hand side, we have some helpful things in the menu here. You can jump right to the announcements, the modules, which will bring you back to this home page. You can jump right to the discussions, quizzes, assignments, grades, and conferences. And I'll go through all of those in this series of videos. But I'm going to just start right here with this course introduction page. Now, there's a lot of information on this page, and this is what you should begin with is by reading this page. You most likely already found it because that's how you got to this video, was from this link here. So what I recommend you doing is pausing the video and reading this course introduction page in its entirety. I'm going to go over some of the most important kind of key highlights from the page, but I won't necessarily talk about everything in detail, but you do need to know everything in detail. So again, I recommend you pause the video, read through this full page, then come back and I'll go through kind of the highlights. So again, this is the introduction to our course. Our course is divided up into modules, and each module lasts a week, and each module focuses on a single topic. Each module will contain lecture notes, textbook chapters, or other associated reading, and then videos that I've created. In each module, there'll be a graded practice discussion board. So this is some discussion board where you will post an answer that counts towards your grade. There'll be a homework assignment, so something will be due, either a homework, which are listed as a quiz, or a project, which is listed as an assignment. There will be also discussion boards that can be used for questions. So these discussion boards don't count towards your participation grade, but these are kind of question and answer boards where if you ever have a question about a topic or a homework, you can post there. The official textbook for our class is listed here. Make sure you have the correct editions. Our course week runs from Tuesday morning to Monday night. So that means that our homework is due at the end of the course week, which will be Monday night at 11:59 p.m. And I'll release new content each week on Tuesday. Always on Canvas, they'll be available the current week, all previous weeks, and one future week. Now note that I expect most students only to focus on the current week. There will always be enough material in the current week to keep you busy. But I do know that, sometimes things come up in your own schedule with work or with your personal life, and you want to kind of get ahead a little bit to take account of that. So I do release one future week if you want to, arrange things to accommodate your schedule that way. But for the majority of time, I recommend you stick with the current week. If you do want to read further ahead than 1 week ahead, you can look at the core syllabus to look at the topics that we'll be covering further out, but I do only release one future week at a time. So every week for each module, you are expected to read those notes and required reading from the chapters in the textbook or from online, watch the provided videos, participate in those discussion boards by posting questions and responding to other students' questions, participating in the graded discussion board. This is what makes up your participation grade. So there are, again, going to be lots of discussion boards, which I'll show you in this series of videos, but there's only one that counts towards your actual participation grade. So you'll have to post there. Your posts there are due by Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. So that's one day before the homework is due. However, I strongly recommend you post much sooner, and I'll talk about those a little bit more detail as we move forward. There again will be something due each week, either an assignment, a project, or a test. Sometimes there will be some weeks where two submissions are due. So sometimes you'll have a homework and a project come due at the same week. So you just have to keep on top of all of those due dates, which are always going to be listed on the assignment themselves. And then it is your responsibility to kind of keep track of the grade book. Okay, so be looking at the grade book. Let me know if there are any errors there, anything is missing, or if something is wrong. We do have student teaching assistants, so student graders that assist in grading with homework and with projects. I will personally grade the midterm and the final. So this is kind of what you're required to do every week throughout the semester. But in this first week, there are some additional tasks. So first, you want to make sure you get the textbook, the appropriate version. This course does rely heavily on the textbook, so you will need it. The textbook is on reserve in the library, so that is available to you. But I do strongly recommend you get your own copy because, again, we do rely on the textbook pretty heavily since this is an online course. You are expected to review not only the first module, module 1, but also this introductory module. So all the material I'm going to go through in these videos, you're expected to do in this first week. You'll complete a first introductory homework. This homework is just a couple of short questions designed only to make sure you understand the course procedures. This is the only homework for the entire semester for which you have multiple tries. So the purpose of this homework is to make sure that you understand how the course is going to work. So I want you to take it as many times as you need to get a perfect score and to make sure you understand all the course procedures. You will post something in the Introduce Yourself forum, and we'll look over that in a moment. This is a requirement. You do need to post to this forum by the deadline that's specified. Consider that your check-in for the course. So that would be the equivalent of showing up the first day for an in-person class. If you don't post to this Introduce Yourself forum by the deadline, you will be dropped as a no-show. Then after you do all this kind of introductory stuff that's additional for the first week, then you can just jump right into Module 1, which will start the content for the course. Now, where to get help? Lots of people, especially if this is your first time taking an online course, can be a little bit nervous about where to go for help. Well, the number one place to go for help is the discussion boards. The discussion boards in our course are key to getting help from myself and getting help from other students. Sharing questions there, answering other students' questions there is one of the best ways to learn in an online class. I have found consistently over many semesters that the students who participate in these discussion boards are the ones who get the most out of this class. So please start to get in the habit of posting questions there. If you see another student's question there and I haven't had a chance to answer it yet, go ahead and post your own answer. Answering other students' questions can not only be a really great way to enhance your own learning, but it's also great for the other student. It can be good to get a couple different ways to give an explanation. So you'll not only get my explanation, but another student's as well. Now, a lot of times, people might be a little nervous about posting to the discussion board or think, oh, this is a silly question, or I don't want to post this. I don't know if I should post this, but I want to strongly encourage you to kind of not think that way and to really use these discussion boards heavily. I can almost guarantee that if you have a question about something, some other student in the course does as well. So by posting that question and allowing me to answer it on the discussion board, everyone then can benefit from seeing the answer. Okay, so please really get into the habit of using these. Again, this kind of takes the place of an in-class discussion. And if you think about an in-person in-class discussion, you're not always asking questions, but you do get the benefit of hearing other students' questions and hearing my answers. So in addition to making sure you're posting questions that you have on those discussion boards, you should also be reviewing them for other students' questions and answers, because sometimes you might not realize you have a question until you see someone else post it and then you think, oh yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that either. So you should be making sure that you're consistently reviewing those discussion boards. Now, the setup of how the discussion boards work in Canvas is a little bit funky, in my opinion. I'm going to show you an example of how to use them in a moment. If you ever have so again, that's the number one place to go for help. If you do have questions about a grade or a feedback on an assignment, you can email me directly. You can always email me about anything, but if you email me a question about the course content, I'm most likely going to say, that's a great question. Please post it on the discussion board. But if you ever have a question about, again, a grade or feedback or something is missing in the grade book, you should email me about that. There is also in-person help available through the tutors in the ACRC, which is the computer lab on the third floor of Batmal. There's a link here to the schedule for those tutors. They do have tutors they're available for Java. It does usually take a couple weeks at the beginning of the semester for them to get the schedule updated, so it might not be ready right away, but you can keep checking back and they should update it as soon as they have it. You can also just kind of go into the ACRC and talk to them. So just be aware that that's a really great place to go for in-person help. There is also a resource called NetTutor that is linked here on the left-hand menu. And this is an online tutoring. It's up here on, again, this left-hand menu. This is an online tutoring service, and computer science is one of the resources available, one of the subjects available. Now, I don't actually know any students who've used this yet, so if you give this a try, please let me and everyone else know if it's useful or not useful, or kind of let us know how it is so that I can tell other students what that experience is like. And then, of course, you can also work with other students. So even though this is an online class, you can arrange to meet in person, arrange study groups. That can be very helpful. So lots of places to get help. If you're kind of still struggling and you're not getting the resources you need, then come talk to me via email or in my office hours, and we can figure out how to get you the support that you need. When I started this video, I said that there were two ways to go through all the resources on Canvas. One was by directly clicking to a resource in that module page. The other is by using this next button. So down here at the bottom right, you'll see a next button. You can always click through the resources in order with that next button. So if I click next, it's going to bring me to the next page in my introductory module. This is a page provided by CCSF. It's all about navigating Canvas. So especially if you're new to Canvas, I recommend looking through all of this. It talks about mobile access and things like that. And then the next page is also from CCSF, and this talks about general support for students learning online. So again, especially if this is one of your first times taking an online course, make sure you look through all this information provided by CCSF and take a look at all of the information they have there related to online learning. Next up is the Meet Your Instructor page. So there's just my contact information and my name, a little bit about me, and then a video. So the video lectures for our course will be like this current one you are listening to and watching. It'll be my voice over either slides or code or diagrams or things like that, but you won't ever actually see me. So you'll hear my voice, but not see my face. So I do include just a brief, short little video there so that you can put a face to the name, just kind of introducing myself. So you can go ahead and take a look at that. And then I'm going to click next, and the next up is the course syllabus. So in the next video, we're going to go through the course syllabus in detail.